Welcome everybody to episode
264.
Excellent.
You put it in because you didn't know.
Yeah, I didn't. Anyway, this is the Real China Show. Welcome, one and all. We've got a great show for you today.
Yes, 264, by the way. Do you know what the area code is?
No.
You would never, just guess. I don't think you could ever guess.
South Sudan.
Okay. No.
Okay.
Don't know why you went there. But,
Yeah.
Anguilla, a British territory. You know where that is?
I do know it,
Oh,
but I don't know where it is now.
Okay.
Isn't it like an island somewhere?
Yes.
Yeah.
They're island boys over there.
Yeah, little island.
If you're from Anguilla, shout out to you. Drop something in the chat or the comments.
Maybe-
I almost guarantee you're not.
I mean, it's possible.
It's possible.
Anyway, we welcome everyone on the show, and it's time for us to get right into it. We're going to saunter right into it with what's new, because we got so much cool and interesting things to cover, and also crazy things today.
Yeah, I do want to say
What?
this is going to be funny in the beginning.
Yeah.
This is one of our more important episodes
Yes.
because what the thumbnail is, you saw in the thumbnail is real. It's insane. Do you remember we were talking to you guys? If you're new here, you won't know, but we've been talking to you guys about all these
Like factory fires, yeah.
and intentional destruction in China, trying to like basically destroy the country out of, hopelessness.
Yes.
Right? This one guy did just that, except his fire was a lot bigger.
Lasted for 3 days.
It lasted for 3 days, and it was so big, the CCP, they had to acknowledge it. They had to, because the other ones they keep burying under the rug.
Yes.
They had to acknowledge it because it's ignited a revolution in
Yes,
China.
absolutely has. And we've got all the details coming up.
Yes, I would highly recommend, number one, you give us a thumbs up. Number two, consider getting the word out on this one. This is a big one. I haven't seen anyone cover this in detail.
Nope, not yet.
No.
Anyway, let's get on with what's new. What have we got over here?
This looks to be the beginning of a spit fight. You know what a spit fight is?
Yeah, this is very common in China. There's this interesting rule in China. It's like, basically, if you get into a physical altercation, all right, you're going to get into trouble in China. That's how it works. But it's not the kind of trouble you think. The police aren't going to come and arrest you for assault.
No.
What they're going to do is they're going to come
arrest you
there.
for a pepper.
Sure. Whoever gets injured the most, basically, or pretends to be injured the most, usually is the winner.
Yes.
What happens is the police just make sure that the other person pays him compensation for his medical fees and whatnot.
Yes.
But there's a way around this, is that when you have a fight with someone in China, if you spit on them, that's not considered assault. You can't get into any trouble in China for spitting on someone. So they just spit on each other instead of actually, throwing hands.
Correct. This looks like it's going to turn into a spit
Yeah,
fight.
but this guy, he preempted the spit fight. Let's see what he does.
It's good strategy.
Just gave him a big old smooch.
He smooched him. The guy's like, are you kidding me?
Well, it put an end to the fight.
It did.
Yeah.
At least the camera cut.
Yeah.
You want to see some despicable things that the Chinese government is doing with kids in public schools?
Sure.
Well, let's have a look.
Okay. Okay.
They are making kids
Yes.
go to the ocean border.
Yes.
to
Where
look
you
at
can
Taiwan.
you can see the Taiwan Islands
Yes.
from the border in Fujian.
And they're teaching kids, Taiwan, come back home to your mother.
Yes.
It's like, come back. And they're indoctrinating these kids very young to think, you know what's funny? So Taiwan's a wealthy country. It's a developed country. They make the world's chips, right? We Americans even need Taiwan, right?
Yes, yes.
A developed country needs Taiwan. China is so butthurt because Taiwan is the democratic free version of what it could have been.
Yeah, and
right?
it's never been under the rule of the Communist Party ever.
No. The Freedom House Index is like 90-something. It's a flourishing democracy, higher than
We
the
both
US.
love being there. It's
Fantastic.
an incredible place to visit.
People in Taiwan, the vast majority, about 90% of people, don't want to be part of communist China,
Correct.
right? So what they do is they teach their kids that people in Taiwan suffer, that their housing prices are too high. All the stuff that's bad about China, they teach what's bad about Taiwan to the kids.
Yeah.
And so they get indoctrinated and they say, we'll, take you by force, basically. And they even get, for propaganda, set up some kids to be like, Taiwan, come back home to your
Yeah, it's
mommy."
terrible. They also make the kids sing songs about taking the train to Taiwan because they want to conquer Taiwan and put a railway there and stuff. You know, that kind of rubbish. It's just horrible to see this kind of crap, you know?
Yeah, it is.
Anyway, let's continue on. Something a little funnier. Now...
Is it? Oh.
Yeah, I want to tell you about something in China. It's called a delay or a landmine. Mm-hmm. Okay, it's not an actual landmine, guys. Relax.
I know all about these.
It's something that happens in the cities. You know, the tiles are really rubbish.
Yeah.
Okay, and they have a situation where you walk around, and if you step on a loose tile after it's been raining, this water will splash up on you and
That's right.
So you're wearing a nice brand new jeans or something, and you're walking, step on a loose tile, landmine, because it's this disgusting, filthy water that's collected in there.
It's like stepping into soup.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah, so it's happened to pretty much anyone who's walked in a Chinese city, I'm sure. But this is the dry version I wanted to show you.
A dry landmine.
Yes, let's take a look.
It's a gun delay.
I'll get us out of there, yeah. Well.
Near miss there.
I'd say that one's a little bit more effective. Once again, there go the shoes.
Every time someone crashes on a scooter or motorcycle, their shoes fly off.
Yep.
We've noticed.
Yeah, it's happened to us.
Yeah.
It's just laws of physics.
It is.
Yeah, anyway, that's not something you want to happen to you.
No, don't let that happen to you.
Yeah, beware of the landmines in China.
Click the like button if you don't want that to happen to you.
Sure. Yeah. Okay.
This is called dropping off the twins.
Okay. This guy's got to learn how the child lock works.
I know, right? Check this out. What's this?
Yeah, this has just been going around very recently, but I've seen it a long time ago.
Oh, interesting. I think there's a new one, though.
This could be a new one. This is in Taiwan.
It's called the world's lowest car.
Yeah, it's a Honda Civic that they've like chopped and obviously have a little
Looks like an
electric motor or something in there.
Yeah, there's someone in there.
You can ride it around, yeah.
Yeah, it's like a functional vehicle, kind of.
Yeah, anyway.
I just wanted to show a slow version so we can see what happened.
Okay.
I've seen the... I don't want to talk about it. It's bad.
No.
Those cars.
Yeah.
They have a lot of safety problems.
Yeah, they do. Hey, look, at least the kids weren't hurt. That's the most important thing.
Sure.
This, guys... Okay, we got to burn your driveway. Okay, so let's take a look. I want the audience to see what's wrong with this picture. Okay, this car has, fancy Chinese EV has had a little accident over here.
A little one.
I mean, you can see that's pretty...
He says, the front of my car hit this thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Hit it like this, he says.
Just don't translate. Don't translate. I would like to ask everybody if they notice anything amiss.
Yeah, I'll read. I'll read.
Do you see anything that might be a little bit wrong with this? Your brand new fancy Chinese EV, you have a pretty nasty head-on collision, Yeah,
everyone's picking up on it. Where's the airbags?
None of the airbags deployed.
As he says.
Yeah.
He said, is this normal?
And it is kind of normal, I'll be honest with you. Let's go back to that. I just want to, again, show the frontal impact. It's not a small frontal impact.
No, it's definitely enough to set off the airbags.
Absolutely. I mean, the whole front radiator core has been bent. The radiator's been destroyed or whatever is in the front of these EVs.
It's not a Western logo. Don't. There's some...
Western logo, okay. We don't need to say it out loud.
Yeah, but you guys can
burn your driveway. Look at the steering wheel.
I know. I just think it's funny that there's deflection, like active Wu Mao deflection. Everybody, you know what time it is. Give a thumbs up and give a shout out to all the Wu Mao in the chat.
Yep. They can't handle it.
Shout out to the Chinese agents in our chat right now as we are live.
Yes.
Pretty funny that they have to do that.
It's weird. Imagine trying to pretend this was a Western car.
Yeah.
I mean, I know they're selling them in Europe now.
Yes.
Which, if you are buying one, ta-da! This might be what you can look forward to. Who knows? Take a look, guys. I just want to say I've seen so many clips of new Chinese models. Doesn't matter the brand. Tons of different brands where the airbags don't go off after fairly serious impacts. And that's worrying. I just hope this is not something that's being exported. Well,
I'll tell you what, the Chinese government does not like this footage because they put people in the chat to actually say that this was a Western car.
Why would it? Why?
So I just love that everyone came out to say a warm welcome because we're very welcoming.
Yes.
Because the Chinese agents that have to watch our content, they don't necessarily they're not loving their job. It probably sucks.
Yeah, agreed.
So give them a warm welcome.
Yeah, you're part of the audience
You're
too.
part of our team.
Yeah, go grab some, like palmier or whatever and sit down. And anyway, let's take a look. This is okay. I don't really know why this would be great entertainment, but obviously this is just something they did on the street. Let's take a look.
Whoa!
Yay!
No!
Yeah.
Can we see that again? What was it? It looks like someone took a stick and whacked some fireworks.
It's kind of like if I don't want to get it wrong, but it's some kind of like molten metal basically, or molten sand or something. Somebody will know. I've seen people do this trick before.
Okay,
but
I haven't.
China's got very low safety standards.
Sure.
And you don't, you're having like a public performance like this. Usually you would get some kind of permit from the local government, things would be checked out for safety. If you're in a developed country. But in China, they'll just be like, oh, we're going to have a fun thing here. And then they do it.
All my regulation haters, peep this.
Yes, exactly. Bam! And you can see everyone's getting ready for it. Look, they're all taking their selfies.
It looks spectacular.
They're like, because it does. It looks cool. They're like, yes, we've come here for this. This is why we're here.
I can't wait to get.
And then it's like instant regret when you're like on fire and your clothes start catching fire, and you're like, what's going on here? Your singed hair.
Oh man, who bringing your kids there?
Yeah, silly. Yeah,
let's go play with the molten
lava. Yeah.
Lava party.
Yeah. Speaking of, this is just from the other day, as you can see, the 21st. So what are we looking at? Like 2 days ago?
Yeah.
Fancy Chinese EV catching fire, as they do, self-immolating at the charge station.
They're protesting the Chinese government. They kind of like that monk.
Yes,
monk?
yes. Yeah.
The EVs are protesting the rule of the CCP. I think.
Yeah. I've been seeing a lot of these as usual. Popping up, and it's just one of those things you got to be careful when you're dealing with EVs in general. Just wherever you charge them, maybe don't charge them inside your garage or something if you can.
So a couple days ago it was Wu Erling 520 day. So it's May 20th, 520. So Wu Erling 520 sounds like 我爱你 in Chinese.
It does, but it doesn't. But
everyone thinks it does.
Everyone thinks it's like whiny. So it's like the Chinese Valentine's Day. Yeah.
No, I explained.
Yeah.
Wu Erling 520 sounds like 我爱你, which means I love you.
Yes.
So that's China's version of Valentine's Day.
One of the
there's
many.
So many
there's like
freaking Valentine's Day.
There's a lot.
It's just a lot of excuses to have to buy gifts for your girlfriend or wife.
Yes.
Let's be honest.
Yes.
But I want to show a glimpse of how nationalist and pro-communist China's getting, because usually the focus would be on some schlock excuse to buy gifts. Look what they turned it into.
Yeah, we will. I just want to ask you, what did you do for 520?
Absolutely nothing. I forgot it was.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. It's kind of like 420, but you don't. Yeah.
No, I had a glass of wine or two with my wife. We shared a bottle.
Oh, we don't. Nah. Me and my wife are haters of this bullshit. It's a made-up bullshit holiday.
So is everything else.
I know. Yeah, but no, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
It's not rooted in tradition. It was made up recently.
I know, but like there are a lot of made-up holidays, like a dude coming down your chimney or whatever. That's not real.
That's not what I'm celebrating. I'm celebrating the birth of Jesus.
Sure, okay, that's true. But a lot of people don't.
Sure. Yeah, you're right.
So it's basically.
I'm just a certified hater.
Yeah, it is a big holiday in China.
It is.
I can confirm that.
It is.
When you have a girlfriend or when you're in a relationship or boyfriend in China, Wu Erling is a day.
It is. It's a day.
Okay. So anyway, and also it's a code word. You can just when you text someone, you want to be like all soppy and like cute or whatever. You could, instead of saying I love you, you can say like Wu Erling. Send it as a text.
You can.
Anyway, so
if you're gay.
Sure. Or if you're a considerate, nice human being who cares about your significant other. All right. Anyway, so let's take a look, everyone. What have the Chinese government done here?
同学们，520的真正含义是5个坚持：坚持党的全面领导，坚持中国特色社会主义道路，坚持以人民为中心。
This sucks, dude. I'm sorry, but I prefer the sappy nonsense to this.
Dude, me too.
Yeah.
Dude, they hijacked 520 Day and turned it into the 5 principles of freaking Communist Party of China.
Does this not look like the most boring young man
Yeah, well, he's the teacher's pet. He's the party. Every class is like a party leader kid, and they have to narc on all the kids.
This is very annoying. He's walking past this super boring communist sign with a bunch of stupid, carbon copy looking men who have no real importance in life.
This is wow.
I'm sorry, but I'm just being honest here. What do they have other than like, oh, I'm a part of the Communist Party?
That's true.
That's it.
You know what though? I always wonder about their hopes and dreams.
Sure.
Remember that clip?
Yeah, I do.
This is of that ilk.
Imagine you walk around, hey, it's Valentine's Day, and he grabs the rose away from the girl, and he's like,
no.
Adhere to deepening, reform, and opening up.
5-2, no.
Yes, 5-2 no. He's got to be popular. The girls love this guy.
F your rose.
Yeah, it's like,
you should have ripped it in half.
It's 5:20. She's like, I can't, my boyfriend's going to give me a rose. And he comes up and he's like, deep in reform, adhere to the socialist, nonsense of the, come on, shut up, dude, you suck.
Dude, this is bad.
Adhere to the one China principle.
既要金山银山，也要绿水青山。零是对违法犯罪的。
Zero tolerance for
Look
crime.
at this. This is North Korea.
Do they have a bag?
Is it not?
Do they have a bag over the classmate's head?
Bag their classmate to take him away for
screw your
political
Valentine's
crimes.
Day. Black bag your classmate. Take him away. Look at
How
that.
romantic.
零容忍。
好好学习，天天向上，爱国
Dude, China's getting bad again.
Yes, love your country. Anyway, guys, you know what? Father's Day is coming up. You know what? We know this guy's name's Nick. He made a bit of a mistake
Last year, right?
last year.
Yeah.
We just wanted to share it with you.
Yeah, let's see.
Okay.
Hi, Nick. It's me. How's it going?
Oh, hi, Dad. Everything's great.
Good. So what are you doing right now?
Dad, right now I'm watching a baseball game.
Really?
Being a dad is tough. Don't be like Nick. Get your father something awesome for Father's Day. And right now, Exeter is a great option. They have a Father's Day sale, which is running all the way till June 26th. Just when you thought something good couldn't get any better, Exeter goes and releases their Wallet Pro. Made with beautiful vachetta leather, it can carry more cards than ever before. And now with a slimmer profile, it closes better for that ultimate sleek pocket feel. The smooth pop-out mechanism now boasts a new ergonomic trigger, and the whole thing is made of 100% recycled aluminium. There are no compromises and no plastic parts used at all in its construction.
This wallet comes with a lifetime warranty. Add the new cash clip and pair it with an Exeter tracker card that works on the Apple Find My network for that extra peace of mind. Grab your slimmer than ever Wallet Pro, the most versatile leather smart wallet.
Don't forget to take advantage of Exeter's Father's Day sale. They're offering up to 40% off, and using our code CHINA at checkout will unlock an extra 10% on top of that. Go to partner.exeter.com/China show and use the discount code CHINA or scan the QR code on your screen. And now, back to the show. Yeah, anyway,
Being a dad is tough.
It really is.
Poor Nick.
This,
Just wanted to watch
I got a
baseball.
real extra right here. I got a real one right here. These
As
things are
opposed
awesome.
to a fake one.
Yeah, of course. Anyway, they are cool.
Yeah,
We've been
used them for
partnered with
years.
them for a very long time, and these are fantastic wallets. And honestly, it is hard to think of a gift for Father's Day.
Yeah.
If you don't have an extra wallet for your dad, get one. They're
Yeah,
awesome. You
agreed.
like it. I love mine. I've had mine for years.
Yeah, you've been rocking one for ages now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know
suffered
how
the
many years
storms.
now. Yeah. Anyway, they are fantastic. Anyway, time for us to continue on with the show, guys. What do we got here? Oh, what a pity.
Welcome to Shanghai, China's most developed and wealthy city.
So what's happened here is they installed the sound deadening.
That's right. I don't need to read it then.
Yeah, they basically put the sound deadening over the railway there. And this is quite common. I'm sure you've noticed this if you drive through cities. If there are houses near a highway,
Yeah.
they usually will put up like a big wall or something
Yeah.
because otherwise the residents would just, I don't know, go insane from the noise. So China is a very loud place. Doesn't matter where you live, it's loud. And imagine you've got trains going through your neighborhood. Imagine how crap it must be to live in Chongqing in that building with
was
that
about to say.
stupid thing that goes through because of bad planning.
Dystopia.
Yeah. Anyway, so they made this, and they made a big hoo-ha about it because it's like it's got solar panels on it, so it's solar powered, right? So that means it's generating electricity. 1 week after installation, it catches fire. 1 week. It wasn't even up for 1 week. Must be all those hidden like cellular radios inside of the solar panels.
You think so?
Sure.
Spying at everyone?
Yeah, it caught fire. Yeah. 1 week. This, by the way, is 2 days ago. Again, it's the 21st. Yeah.
How long ago was it?
2 days ago.
Oh.
You know,
You said
21st.
I mean, how long since they put it up?
A week.
It's been.
Actually, it's...
Sorry.
Yeah, sorry. It's... Take a look. Again, on fire. Wow. Good job.
Yeah.
Nothing is built to last in China, but
Yeah.
you would hope that it lasts a year, like a week. You know what I mean? Stop.
Then stop saying it.
A week.
Wait, you know what? Blue sky. So
Yes.
congrats on that. Props.
Yes, absolutely.
They tried their damnedest with that fire to make that blue sky go away.
Yeah.
It's again, China trying to revert back to its natural state.
Exactly. They're like, no, blue sky, no, go away.
What is this disgusting blue hue in this? Oh!
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, just thought that was interesting because, you know, Shanghai is China's most developed and
their
well, it's the
gem,
most
their jewel?
sophisticated city, I should say, most cosmopolitan.
Probably the most important, to be honest, if I'm honest.
Yeah,
You know?
for sure.
Yeah, we get the idea.
Yeah, I know. I was just pushing through a little more.
Yeah. You guys can get a full
I was actually just
Oh, what's this again?
again. You put in twice.
Get a
Okay.
double.
Okay. You know, I was looking back at that thing. It's a week old, but did you see how rubbish the side of the concrete was there?
Yeah.
And it wasn't just, I'm sorry, I just want to go back to this drive-by. Look, the whole way, look at the concrete.
Yeah.
See how it's got streaks down it?
How it's been 1 week, right?
It's only been up in a week. I mean, obviously it's
It's
taken longer to construct, so it's probably still from construction. But look how horrible the concrete
Chicken to
looks.
China, the Chinese chicken.
Anyway, just wanted to point that out. Let us move on, shall we? I guess, you know, you can see the burning EV once more. It's also in Shanghai,
Yes.
and it was at a.
Love watching this again.
Me too. It's great.
Drive at home. No pun intended.
You can't drive that home, this dude. If you ever wanted to have a Schadenfreude moment.
Yeah, but I don't want to give it away.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
This poor puppy
Yes.
is about to suffer
well,
in a bad way.
you
That's
know,
what you think.
There's a saying in China. It's not that old people are bad. It's that bad people got old.
Yes.
This is something that's very common because, you know, you do have a bunch of real bad eggs from the Cultural Revolution.
What kind of eggs?
Like real bad. Oh, you mean like, let me grab it. Like, basically.
Are you calling these old people piss eggs?
Pretty much.
Okay.
You know the type, the kind that ratted their parents out to the government
for
and their
sure.
teachers
for
beat,
having like poetry books.
yeah, and beat their teachers to death. You know those really horrible type people? They're still around.
They are, and this
They just got old.
the Chinese on the screen says "Bash Suela," so it says 80 years old. So this woman's 80 years old. I don't know why that's of significance. I did not put that up there.
Let's take a look what happens. She sees a puppy. What do you think this person's going to do?
Don't kick the puppy.
Win.
Oh, win, puppy,
Yes.
win, puppy,
Yes.
win. Let's go, puppy.
Yeah. This guy was caught last week dumping.
Shall go, child.
They said he was dumping oil, like a waste oil mix, into the river.
That's beautiful. That's really beautiful.
Just yeah. It was making the rounds because, you know, I think everybody's pretty not happy with this.
Wow, this is just
But it's-
par for the course.
Yeah,
in
it's
China,
a
isn't
pretty
it?
common occurrence, but you know, that's what happens.
Yeah.
Ooh, boy, do we have
Ooh, this is
yeah,
the
we've got a big
news.
announcement for everyone. Finally, after years and years of not doing this, we have a merchandise store,
We
guys.
do. Check it out. Pause it.
Okay,
We have so
too
many
late.
different designs.
All right. We've got the America Bad Party
We
T-shirt.
gotta slow down. We gotta introduce these.
Okay, do you want me to go back?
Yeah.
All right.
This is important.
Everyone's always like, "You guys suck." You're always like pausing and going
Oh, you
back.
gotta pause on this.
Okay, all right.
Pause. It's
All right.
meant to be paused. This is the China Show official shirt.
Yes.
So you can have the front. Can you play a tiny bit more? There you go. You can have either just the front or the front and back.
Yep.
Logo. So it's a little cheaper if you just get the front.
Mm-hmm.
That's the China Show. That's our logo. You got ABP.
The dream is dead. America Bad Party.
Play that soundbite.
We all know this, right?
That's in the permanent. These two are permanent, permanently in the merch store.
Yep.
So pick that up. We have Slopaganda. Resist Slopaganda.
Resist Slopaganda, yes.
Also a permanent shirt. Mm-hmm. And we have one limited time only right now.
Yeah, pick up the bike.
Pick up the bike. This was hand drawn. Mm-hmm. Hand drawn.
Yes.
By, should we say who?
Yeah, of course.
This is by Dragonilla, one of our best supporters. You probably see her in chat often.
Very talented artist. Very big part of the community.
She drew this by hand. It is an ancient Chinese man doing the right thing.
Picking up the bike.
And it says in Chinese, it says, pick up the bike.
Yes.
So
this one is limited only.
If you're new here, this just means do the right thing, like in opposition to the wrong thing. Like when most people are doing the wrong thing, you do the right thing. Because we showed a clip. We actually ran it in the background for a long time of a bike blocking. It was a bicycle that had fallen over, one of those share bikes, blocking the sidewalk and the road.
Yep.
And no one picks it up. And we put bets on it without gambling, obviously. Yep. Put bets on whether someone would pick up the bike or not. Actually, in a couple clips now.
Yes.
And no one picks up the bike.
No one. Yeah.
And so we polled you guys. Most of you guys, 60% of you said that you would pick up the bike, but that 40% disappointed us. So we wanted to continue to tell you guys to do the right thing, stand up to wrong, stand up to wrong.
Yeah, it's a great design.
It is. So, that's limited, so you have to get that now.
Yeah.
So go to thechinashow.threadless.com. Go check out the store. It's live. There's 3 permanent shirts right now, and 1 limited time only. It supports the show, and you're going to be able to spread the word. There's also stickers, by the way, with a QR code for our show.
Yeah, it's cool. Fantastic. We're very happy with the designs.
Check it out. See those?
Which one are you going to get?
Pause that real quick. I want to show that.
Yeah.
Media is lying to you about China. So if you put these stickers everywhere, people will be like, damn, I'm spreading the word. And you should.
Yep.
It's cool.
So I want to ask you, which T-shirt are you going to order?
The limited one for sure.
You're getting the limited one?
Yeah, because that's important to get. If I'm going to get one of the, well, I'm going to get all of them. Okay. But if I had to pick my favorite, I'm probably going to get an ABP shirt. I think it looks pretty sick.
Yeah, I was thinking about an ABP one. It's kind of cool.
These also come in hoodies, by the way.
Yeah.
And jackets and all kinds of stuff, which is really cool.
Yeah.
And you can pick your quality and all that kind of stuff. A lot of options.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I like the Slopaganda one as well. So cool. Yeah, probably those two.
thechinashow.threadless.com. Go check it out. Mm-hmm. And
please.
that white one, limited time only.
Great way to support the channel.
Yes.
Fantastic. Yes. And thank you to Dragonilla for the amazing designs as well.
Yes.
Okay, moving on.
She did all of them.
Yeah,
exactly. I should mention that.
Yeah, moving on. What do we have here?
We're just looking at this woman chilling out. She does look a little Robertic, doesn't she?
Yeah, it looks like, she looks like a little bit of a Robert, isn't, where's that?
China's turning into Roberts, dude.
Yeah, anyway, no. She looks very skinny, but it's just a fold-up umbrella. Yeah.
I wanted to give a monk report. You know, we do Ballard report and everything. So China's got monks, right? But here's the problem. Religion is completely controlled by the CCP.
Yes.
Which means that if it's controlled, it means the CCP selects people in charge. So it means these people are just CCP officials, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And it's kind of like, oh, we have religion on the surface, but we make it possible.
Yeah, look, they're either scam monks or they're party officials.
So we want to show you the lifestyle of a monk. You know, they're not supposed to have anything, right?
Yes.
The Buddhist monk is supposed to relinquish all worldly possessions.
Correct.
But they drive Mercedes and Maybachs, and they have chicks.
Is that like what even is that, a bus?
It's like a party bus, like a luxury party bus.
Yeah.
They ain't driving no Chinese car, I'll tell you what.
No, that's for sure.
They're driving nice stuff. They're having KTV parties. They're rocking out.
Yeah.
You want to be a monk in China, you get worldly possessions.
Yes.
Because you're a Communist Party corrupt official.
Correct.
Corruption, this is what you get. I mean, maybe some people pine for this. Who knows?
What?
You can't get this because you're not a Communist Party official.
Yeah. You have to be a Communist Party official. Okay.
They're just really loving life. This is the true nature of some Communist Party official monks, too. I paused it there. Just pause that real quick. This woman needs help because of something, and this monk goes over and kicks her when she's down in China.
Yeah. Wonderful.
Yeah, wonderful. Good
great,
stuff.
Great Buddhist monk. This Buddhist monk is having a good time at the KTV.
He's having a little too much of a good time.
Yeah.
This guy's just going to check his baozi, and they're too hot.
Well, I think what's happening is his wife's cooking baozi, and he wants to sneakily steal one.
Let's have a look.
So
Hold on, don't pause.
okay, all right. Yeah, because he's pretending like the
Yes,
cat
the
made the
cat made
noise,
the sound.
not him
He's
stealing
not supposed
one.
to be eating
Yeah,
one. Those are not ready or whatever.
exactly. All right, now we wanted to show you again how superficial China is.
Yes.
China, whenever you hear anything about AI, 5G, big data, they love to pretend, the robots, the brain-powered robots, the nuclear-powered batteries, their own chips that they're creating, and they're like so high-tech and all this. Whenever you hear them making a big noise about this stuff, the majority of it is just absolute nonsense. It's flash.
Let's get those numbers up.
And pomp and circumstance, and they're basically just trying to do this whole smoke and mirrors thing where they pretend like they're very high tech.
Remember, China's leading the world in AI sales and AI,
Yeah.
all this kind of stuff, and we found a huge slew of toys that are barely electronic. They have
Yes.
no computer in them.
Like those dogs.
Like those dogs and those things. They have the official government stamp of AI,
Yeah.
so therefore they count for sales.
Yeah, so they can say like we've sold the most AI products or
Yeah.
something, and they sold a bunch of toys which
Yes.
don't have AI.
Yes.
Anyway, what's happening here is it's a demonstration of what is it, like some big data thing or
No, this is a AI. This is
Oh.
an AI program for a university.
Okay, so what's happening is you've got obviously the professors or something up there.
Unveiling.
The officials, they're unveiling it. But what they're doing is there's like touch hand scanners
Yeah.
on the screen that they touch. I'll go back even a little bit before we continue. Just a little bit, okay. Go to the monk.
Waller monk.
We can see the cat pretender guy one more
Oh,
time.
we can see Cat Pretender?
Yeah.
Love it.
And I won't interrupt it. Okay, so it's got these like hands, you see in the movies.
Paused it back in the
Exact same. Well, you know what? It goes that way sometimes.
It does. It
just
do be
goes
like
that way.
that.
It do be like that. So, you see in the movies, it's like handprint identification, please. And you put your handprint
Yes.
on there or whatever, and it's like, doot, and then it lets you in. So they're all putting their hands on the screen because it's AI, right?
Yeah.
So it's going to read their palms in order to activate this.
Yes.
Okay? Whoops. Can you guys see?
Oh.
Someone moved a mouse. Can you see?
Do we have anything that says no? Because I want to say, is that AI 5G? How would you reply?
Oh, yeah, you would.
Is that AI 5G?
No.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely not. So as you can see, it was just a video being played.
Yeah.
Absolute nonsense. But, they didn't expect the guy running the PPT or whatever to move the mouse. Now it's showing the playhead down
Windows
there.
move everything. There's a kid laughing in the crowd. They died laughing.
Yeah,
That's freaking awesome.
exactly.
This is scary. Wait till you see this robot takeover.
Yeah.
Chinese robots. You keep hearing about it on the news, right?
Yep.
Robotics industry.
Take a look.
Problem is, it's scary, right?
Yeah.
But
Oh.
we found the version with the audio restored.
Excellent.
Yeah. Check it out. Scary, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
So I wanted to share some cooking tips.
Okay.
This is a viral recipe in China.
This
You have
looks
some jelly.
disgusting.
You put an eel, a whole eel in there, a popsicle, and lemons. Okay. You put it in the fridge, and then it becomes like a hard, like gelatin substance.
What is
right?
this? What are we
You put
looking
it into
at
a
here?
cup. You put cantaloupe, oranges, and watermelon, and some
Cilantro?
Cilantro. This here,
Jergen?
those are jergen, the worst food we've ever had in our lives. Tastes
Yeah.
like rotten fish juice. It's a vegetable. You pour that in there, and you top it off, and then you put
the
the eel head on there, and then you put some Chinese spice on there, 13 spice.
This is
and you
absolutely
Just
horrendous.
wanted to show you some viral. Oh, here's another one. So this is a viral recipe right now. This is how you make seraphim noodles. This is seraphim noodles viral recipe in China.
That is disgusting. I'm
Just wanted to
sorry.
share some cooking tips with you guys.
What is that even? That's like cow eyes.
eyes, yeah.
Cow eyes.
I have seen this, by the way. This is not, the first one is obviously like a effed up like shock thing. This is a real thing. This is real. Yeah. I have seen this. A variation of it. Oh, we're getting COVID memories. memories.
COVID memories,
So
guys.
you don't forget. What happened during COVID in China? We always like to bring it back.
Yeah, because everybody's forgotten the fact that,
China
because
did
of the
it.
ineptitude and all the lies, COVID spread from China around the world.
Killing millions.
Yeah. And,
Whereas remember when they knelt down to the hazmat people when they had their automatic
yeah, they used to
rifles?
call them dabai.
Yeah, these guys just protecting them, keeping everyone safe
Yes,
from the
keeping
virus with their
everyone safe.
guns. You can shoot a virus,
Sure.
remember when they used to black bag people that were not following COVID regulations?
Yes.
Oh, and remember when they went to their houses and carried them out?
Yeah.
Oh, the memories. Oh, remember when people broke COVID regulation, they would actually put
Shame them.
placards of their identities.
Again, I've been seeing so many people China-based.
Yes.
Have you noticed?
Yes.
Especially, guys, I'm fairly conservative, right?
Sure.
But I've seen a lot of the right wing following this narrative that China somehow is based and China is good and in certain ways. They're not good. You do not want this amount of government control. If you think that the government's like doing something deep state, if they're like, oh, we have vaccine, nonsense.
CIA.
Deep state, whatever. If you think
Yeah.
any of this stuff, then you cannot support China. You cannot say China-based because look at what happened in China.
Yes.
Okay?
That's what you
China's
like?
not
China-based?
China's going to take you, somebody who goes and says, I'm never taking a vaccine, or screw you for making me take a vaccine. If you're an anti-vaxxer, you're going to end up like this. If you're that kind of person who stands up against authority,
To support
if you
China.
think that you can speak up against your government or speak up against organizations and say big
As you
pharma,
should,
this and
you
that-
should. Your First
yeah,
Amendment
yeah, exactly. You should do that. But what I'm saying is, if you're the kind of person who likes to do that, who's vocal about that, don't you dare say China based.
No, you're not allowed to
Don't
say
you
that.
dare support
That's
China.
where
because this
that's
is-
where your First Amendment right goes
Yeah,
away.
because-
Because they'll take it away.
Yeah, because this is what happens
Yes.
in China to people who, tried to, I don't know, go and get food for their family or something, or didn't want to take a test.
This
where
is
they
people that
shove
were
things.
trying to either leave or get family members or people across the borders. They got shamed,
Yeah,
placarded.
and as in borders, you mean just out of their little living
I think it
compounds.
could have been Guangxi to Vietnam. I can't
Oh,
remember.
was it there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is crazy.
Wuhan, right?
Yes.
A lot of things have been happening in Wuhan.
That's why I put it next to the COVID thing.
Okay, yeah.
Listen. And YouTube, chill out. We don't show it. Those are gunshots in China, by the way.
Yeah.
Those are real gunshots. Now, China claims it has no guns, and it still claims so, as you'll see in the police report. So, dude murdered some people. We're not going to show it, obviously. No. I'll show the crowds outside. Don't worry about it, YouTube. You can chill out. There's nothing to look at. Okay. There's plenty to look at in the actual footage,
Yeah.
which is horrifying.
Yeah, we won't show that.
As you wouldn't want to see that, but yeah. So this is something they're desperately trying to cover up because they have been the most important thing is they've been amplifying every sort of crime or unrest or especially gun violence on the Chinese internet about America.
Oh, yeah.
If you go on the Chinese internet, your feed you'll get flooded with America bad videos and it's people killing each other and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not like the kind of censored stuff you'd see on Reddit or something.
Yeah.
It's full on, right?
Yeah, by the way, this happened. You can see where this happened. There's a police station right there. It happened like 50 meters away from the police station. That's what this guy in this video is saying. He's like, look, here's a police station. It's right here. And the shooting happened right there, across the way.
Yeah.
So that, you can see here, apparently this is the gun that was used, which is a Colt 1911,
Yep.
which is interesting. Yeah.
Ground level.
Yeah. I was thinking it would have been a Makarov or some kind of Soviet thing.
No, well, most of the guns come in through Guangxi, through the southern border, through Burma. So there are a lot of Western weapons. They're not coming from Russia.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, anyway, so there was this shooting, and the most important part about this is that they omitted the fact that there was a shooting in the official police
it was
report.
obviously, like, it spread so much that they had to put a report out, but
Yeah.
there's no mention of there being a shooting.
I also like how they say an intentional injury case caused by a dispute.
Yes.
It says one injured person died after failed rescue efforts. You see how they try to downplay it? An intentional. You don't call it an intentional injury case. You would say it was
a murder. It
Yeah.
was a murder.
Yeah.
And it was targeted. It wasn't
Yes.
like a random thing,
Yeah.
you know?
And they didn't die after resuscitation because if you see the footage, they were dead.
You don't want to see that footage.
No.
There ain't no resuscitation.
No. Anyway, so of course they downplay it.
Yes. Yes.
Slapaganda time, guys. My favorite part of the show. And this is where we show you China's efforts of trying to, I don't know, push their ridiculous propaganda. And this one's kind of funny. All right? For some reason, China's still on this whole 5G thing.
Yeah, they love the 5G. AI 5G expertise.
Yeah. I don't understand. 6G is around the corner, right? But they still think 5G is the future. 5G is something that they're proud of for whatever reason. They think it's like a uniquely Chinese thing.
They didn't invent it.
No. But for some reason
they now say they did, basically.
Yeah. For some reason, China thinks that 5G equals prowess or something.
Yeah.
So they love this 5G
Doesn't
thing.
everyone have freaking 5G?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's take a look.
We're going to play propaganda bingo today. So can you get us out for a second? You're going to look at this bingo card as we put out, because this particular propaganda clip, just set it up real quick, covers they jam so many propaganda points into one clip.
Yeah.
And it turns into maybe the most nonsensical slop we've ever played.
Yeah, it's one of them.
The biggest slopaganda.
You know what's even more ridiculous is that this is aimed for a foreign audience.
Yes.
So much so that they dubbed it into Australian English.
Yeah.
For some reason.
Yes.
They got Australian voice actors.
Yes.
To dub over this.
Yes.
It's bizarre.
Yes. I just want to read off a couple of these because I don't want to pause this.
Yes.
I want to play this all the way through and get us out of it so you can do it. There's 5G. There's 2 sessions, by the way, which is when the government comes together to have their boring meeting about how they're going to screw over the people.
Yep.
They always push it. Chinese phones, okay? Chinese EVs.
Yes.
DeepSeek.
Yeah.
You don't think they can slot in DeepSeek? You'll be surprised. We'll see. We'll see if you're lucky.
It doesn't mean any of this stuff's going to happen.
No.
But this is bingo. So how bingo works is, if you spot the thing, then you check it off.
Abandoned child is when you drop off your child in the countryside so you can work in the factory.
Yeah, they're called left behind children.
Yeah, they have to drop them off with the grandparents because
they leave them in the hometown. Yeah, they don't take them with them to the cities where they work. So they sometimes for years just leave their children to grow up, without them.
We have animal slaughter.
Yeah.
We have bogan grandma. Bogan is a redneck, like kind of hick, kind of a lower class person in Australia.
Yeah.
So that kind of doesn't make sense, right?
Yeah.
It's a lucky one if you get that. Tofu dregs.
Yeah.
Pollution.
Yeah.
Oily water.
Oily water.
That's like a Chinese soup.
Yeah, that's what I call Chinese soup, especially Cantonese soup. Yeah.
Yeah. One child policy. See if we can find that.
Yeah.
Keep your eyes out for all these. Rural development. So that's a CCP policy of developing rural China.
Yeah.
Creepy official.
Yes.
Chinese official, like a CCP guy. Tobacco teeth. What's that?
Anyone knows that. Someone who smokes a lot of cigarettes gets brown teeth, like little
specifically
stained teeth. Yeah.
And then we have a French laugh. That's a rare one. See if you can spot that.
Yeah. So anyway, let's see if you can spot any of these things in this particular little propaganda video. But like you said, we're just going to play it without interrupting it. So let's get right into it. This was released on Chinese state media not that long ago.
Where are you, kiddo?
Dad, I'm up on Grandma's roof. No lighting here, right?
Hey, be careful up there. Hang on a second. I'm switching to 5G.
What did you say? Silky chicken?
You little goof. All you think about is eating chicken.
My sweetie, it's called 5G. With 5G, video calls won't glitch anymore.
Oh, like a rooster's comb. If I get 5 chickens, the signal's gonna rock. I gotta round up 5 chickens. Don't run, stay still. Finally, I've caught a chicken.
4G, lunch is ready.
Wow, chicken today. Grandma, wait, is this our big hen?
Who was talking about eating chicken yesterday? I cooked it for you today.
Oh, when am I going to have all 5 chicken? Dapong, I need 5 chickens to boost the signal, so can you help me find some chicken?
Sure, I'll help you snag some chickens, but once your signal's good, I dibs first. I want to try that very popular DeepSeek thing.
Deep what? Disco?
Whatever, just remember to let me play with it.
Disco.
You giving me your chickens? Won't your grandma get mad?
Never mind. I've been feeding them lately. She's got no clue.
Five chickens. Still need 2 more. If I fail, I'm stuck waiting till next weekend.
I wish my neighbour's chicken hadn't got all weird like that. I could have used him too.
Grandma, how come there's an extra chicken in the yard?
It's your birthday today. I'm making chicken for lunch.
I hope it's not like the wiggle chicken you made for me last year.
The universe is on my side. 1, 2, 3, 4. Still short 1. Now what?
Hello.
A toy chicken's still a chicken. Hey, can you hang out with me for 2 minutes? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's got to be enough now.
Kiddo, I'm back. Check out who that is.
Mum, why are you guys back?
We came to celebrate your birthday. Heard you've been chasing chickens all over the place.
You said 5 chickens, right? I'm still 1 short.
You silly kiddo. This is a real 5 chickens.
What a happy family. The village is waiting for you guys to help build that 5G base station.
You bet. Once the station is up, there won't be any more lagging when we make video calls.
Yep, amazing things will come with a 5G base station. It's a project supported by representatives from the 2 sessions. And Wuji, you don't need to run around the village grabbing chickens anymore.
Yeah, okay.
We'll get into plot holes. I just want to say a couple things.
Yeah, sure.
That is the most regarded thing
It's
I've ever seen in
stupid.
my life. We didn't dub that.
No?
Although your silly weed chicken was...
Yeah, the wheat chicken and the,
and the
wiggle chicken. Yeah.
But everything else, the CCP made that.
They made that, and they put it out for you, the Western audience, to see.
Just so you understand a little bit, 5G sounds like Wuji, which means 5
yeah, G's a chicken.
chickens, right? Also, they named the kid Wuji.
Yeah, his name is Wuji.
So the kid's name is 5G.
Yes.
They named a child 5G.
What I don't understand is why is the mother saying that this means 5G?
Because they needed a plot point.
This
to be
doesn't
like,
look.
oh, I'm gonna go catch
This
roosters.
is like, yes, it tastes good, French kiss or whatever.
Yeah,
right?
or it's some like
yeah, it's
bullshit
some
thing.
other thing. Yeah, yeah, exactly. But like he's like, oh, it's 5G, like a rooster's comb or whatever.
So just so you understand, everything is 5G. The kid's name,
yes,
the thing on the phone,
yeah,
5 chickens, and they squeezed in everything on that damn bingo card.
Yeah, every single thing.
Every single thing.
Yeah.
I saw most of you guys pick it up.
Yeah.
Especially like the only child thing you saw, and he's just drawing himself. You know,
Yeah.
Deep Seek was in there 2 sessions. The creepy official rolling in. What a happy
Yeah, it's like,
family.
what a happy family.
That's almost a soundbite.
It is. I think so.
Should we look at some plot holes?
Yeah, there's a couple of plot holes I wanted us to look at here. So let me get us in the corner here, okay?
This is a real 5 chickens.
So number 1, the area already has 5G coverage.
The entire story, Winston.
Yeah.
Is the CCP is gonna go send representatives to build a 5G base station so they actually finally have 5G.
Yes.
The dad shows up with 5G.
Yeah, he's like
in the village that
on
doesn't
his
have
phone.
it.
He's
Yes.
like, "You silly kiddo, this is the real 5 chickens. This is the real Wuji." I mean, come on. So this is the real 5G. So that's plot hole number 1.
Yes.
Plot hole number 2. Let's take a look.
You bet. Once the station is up, there won't be any more lagging when we make video calls.
The video calls never lagged in the first
It was
place. They're totally fine. Okay.
Definitely.
This man isn't French. His sucky packaging tape disappears. Take a look. You know, like he's got this
In middle conversation.
Yeah, look at this. He's got like packaging tape around like his phone with a bamboo, stick or whatever, and he's holding it up supposedly to get reception. But every time he uses the phone, in amongst the packaging tape just disappears.
Silky chicken is also, by the way, it's the black skin chicken that you get in Asia. That's called wuji as well. So I forgot another wuji.
Yeah, exactly.
Another 5G.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
A toy chicken's still a chicken.
This is not a toy chicken. Okay. So those are some of the plot holes.
What's more cringe, this or us analyzing this?
I don't know.
I love this.
Yeah.
This is
There are a couple of plot holes, but
yes.
One thing we did notice, though, is, the grandma making the chicken and stuff, that was actually a restaurant.
Yes.
And we could see from some decorations around
This
there.
whole thing takes place in a restaurant.
Yeah, and she's wearing an apron with, the restaurant's name or whatever on it. So they found a restaurant in one of these villages called a nongjiale. Normally it's like a rural type restaurant. And they filmed this all there, and it's the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. And they dubbed it into Australian English.
Yes. I think my favorite part about this
Yeah.
is we had to, if you don't know any of this stuff, like you would have to live in China to understand anything that just happened. If we didn't explain it to you, then you wouldn't know what you were watching. So why did the CCP put so much money and effort to make this for a Western audience?
Yeah.
How is anyone going to know what these jokes mean?
There's one part I'm still very confused about, and that's Da Peng.
Yeah.
Da Peng and his
does
chickens.
deep sea?
No, yeah, he's the one who wants to try. I'll go back to that one part. I know you guys hate when we go back, but Da Peng did a thing here. You see? Where was it? He wants... Okay, here it is. So Da Peng brings chickens.
You giving me your chickens? Won't your grandma get mad?
So won't your grandma get mad? You're giving me your chickens?
Never mind.
I've been feeding them lately. She's got no clue.
What?
Never mind. Won't your grandma be... Never mind. I've been feeding them lately. She's got no clue.
Does feeding these chickens make them invisible?
I don't know. Is the act of feeding them make them disappear not bad?
She goes like, "Oh, there's my chickens over there." He feeds them. She goes, "I can't see a thing."
Or maybe it's
What,
like,
does he like
where?
blind her?
She's like, Da Peng, where are my chickens? Don't worry. I've been feeding them lately. You've got no clue. What the hell? This part I don't understand.
You know what? Mm-hmm. You know what they're probably doing?
What?
He's probably saying something like, 我养他们. I'm raising them.
Raising
so
them.
maybe I'm the one that's feeding the chickens and raising them, right? So maybe she's not going to know. I mean, I'm just devil's advocating here.
Yes.
That's another plot hole, by the way.
It is. Just curious about that one. Maybe our
Rotten
audience
Tomatoes
knows.
score 0 out of 100. Worst
Yeah.
movie I've ever seen.
Yeah,
Would
by the
not
way-
see again. This is called Nejia 3, by the way. This is Nejia 3.
You notice the EV turns up. It's got the advertisement
Yes.
of the brand on the license plate. So
Yes.
they're advertising their
Dude.
Chinese-made EV as well.
The CCP is doing everything in a 5-minute clip that they can.
Yeah.
I love this. This is the laziest propaganda I've ever seen, because what happens is, like I said, they'll get a bazillions of dollar budget. The CCP will wait until the last minute, the local CCP office that has to make this propaganda department will wait till the last minute, blow it all on KTVs and Baijiu and cigarettes and bribes.
Yes.
And then at the last minute, throw together a team and be like, we need to fit together somehow 15 episodes worth of propaganda into one video.
Pretty much. And that's the parking lot for the restaurant down there, as you can see, that they park in. But yeah, everything about this is just absolutely ridiculous.
It's great.
Yeah.
It's great.
So
One of our favorites. We hope it came out to you guys, came across. Because it is, you gotta understand China.
You gotta understand China.
I just want to do the creepy official reveal.
Okay, sure.
When he turns up.
You silly kiddo. This is a real 5 chickens.
What a happy family. The village is waiting for you guys to help with that 5G base station.
You bet. Once the station is up, there won't be any more lagging when we make video calls.
What a miserable existence.
Amazing thing.
This is abysmal.
Look at the tiles next to his leg. If he doesn't watch out, he's gonna slice an artery open.
Bro, he looks like he's in a village in Skyrim. Does this look cold and medieval?
Yeah, it looks pretty bad. And I mean, the thing is, This is the reality of China when you get into the rural areas, and this is actually good. Like I said, this is a restaurant.
This is top.
This is a tourist town, obviously. They've got their little nongjiao. It's all set up for that. It gets way worse. But, I mean, this is really bad propaganda. It's not making me think China's advanced.
No.
You know what I mean? No. It's not making me think that China's really doing a good job there.
No.
Yeah.
Anyway, we got to rip.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
So behind.
Yeah, we still have to get to the main topic. Let me get through. Okay, yeah. So
Okay.
Chicken.
Sorry.
Get out of here.
Okay, Wuji. See you next time.
Wuji.
Soft Power Hour. This is where we talk about how China's trying to change your mind. And this week, there's something really big going on. This guy is being called the 800 yuan hero.
Yes.
Baba Yuan hero.
Yeah.
Okay. And there's quite an interesting story. Maybe you can read it while I play the footage.
Yes. So this is what happened. Sichuan, so Western China, in a town called Yibin. Okay. Workers demanding wages, specifically this guy, set fire to this factory.
This factory. It's
a
textile factory, yes.
And they clothes and stuff, right? It broke out on May 20th, and it blazed on for like 3 days.
3 days nonstop.
Yes.
They couldn't put it out. I mean, think about it. It's textiles, right? So that's all flammable stuff.
Yes. Here's what the initial report was, and then we'll get into what the people were saying.
Yeah.
A young male worker stabbed a financial officer in the factory who was closely related to the factory owner, and then set the factory on fire. That's what initially came out, right? Later on, what happened, it turns out this guy had been, he wasn't getting paid 800 RMB, 800 yuan,
It's
so
about
$111.
Yeah, $111.
From his salary, and kept going back to be like, you got to give me my money. That's a lot of money in China.
Yes.
Right? Keep in mind, $111 taken off from your monthly salary is enormous.
Because he quit, and he was supposed to be paid out what was owed to him, right, when he left.
Yes.
And they kept stonewalling him, and every time he went back, they refused to give him this $110.
Yes. So it says, I'm going to go into here. I just want to see. So what happened was the fire kept burning. And if it had been put out in the beginning, this probably wouldn't have carried any weight.
Yeah.
Because like I said, every week or so, we see massive Chinese manufacturing facilities go up in smoke.
Yes.
And they get burned down on purpose because of withheld wages. The Chinese economy is doing so bad that they can't pay people. But what happened with this one, because it burned so long and it was so prolific, it actually kind of spread outside of Sichuan. Usually China can go in there and shut down keywords. They can shut down images. They can shut down videos. They can make sure the stuff doesn't spread.
Yes.
This one managed to get out.
Yes, and it's specifically the amount he was owed, the 800 yuan.
It stuck with people.
Yeah. People started to hear he was owed 800 yuan in wages, and it drove him to do this. And it really struck a chord with people, because so many people in China right now.
Everyone's dealing with it.
Everyone is like middling. Like if you've got a middle of the level factory job, you've got arrears on your wages. You're owed money by your boss. People have been working overtime for free. People doing all sorts.
It's why you see China doing so much counter propaganda right now to say how amazing everything is. Because right now, I want to read you some of these comments.
Please do.
From these people that saw this story.
Yeah, one thing before you do, I just wanted to say that people are now making these like posters, these inspirational things, because they're saying like, it's almost like a powder keg. The spark has been lit, and people are saying like, this guy's a hero. They're calling him a hero for doing this.
Yes.
You want to read the comments?
Yes. This is the anger of the people. Workers' anger. People's hero. These are all different.
Yeah.
The people of the power is bright. This brother fulfilled the anger in many people's hearts. Salute. This is, by the way...
That's not what the Chinese government wants.
Oh my gosh, no.
They don't want they don't want pictures like this going around.
No. He is the symbol of the awakened fearless. Burn yourself to light up others. This young man is really brave and worth learning from. These are normal people that would never say anything like this, but they felt so much inspiration that this guy caused so much damage that lasted 3 days for such a petty amount of money, what seemed seemingly petty amount of money.
Yeah.
That they were like, that's like me. This isn't some esoterical thing that I read in a book. This is a real event that I saw with my own eyes. CCP couldn't shut it down fast enough to get the footage. The footage was getting out there with the story.
Yeah.
And now people are writing, I only care about how the hero is doing. Not the subtext is not the local
they don't
government,
care about
the police,
the,
and all that kind of
they
stuff.
don't
the
care about the
factory
company
worker.
or the factory or
The factory, This boss will finally understand how it feels to lose 800 yuan.
Yeah.
Well done. This is how you deal with a shady. I'm not. This is the quotes, by the way. This is not
of course.
I don't champion any of this behavior.
Of course.
Although the factory was beaten, the boss actually saved 800 yuan in wages, saying in the end, he still
managed to save 800 yuan.
He bullies the workers. He's used to it. Let's teach him a lesson. The boss finally understands how it feels to lose 800 yuan, right? It's a vivid and realistic lesson for people who owe wages. I want to send this video to my boss.
Wow.
With a salary of 800 yuan, the boss went bankrupt, meaning like the consequences were devastating, right? The worker wanted to test the boss and learn a lesson. This should be a lesson for factory owners across the country. Netizens also believe that life is just too difficult for people at the bottom of society. So this turned in from like, screw that factory boss, to, wait a minute, life for all of us sucks.
Yeah.
And the bottom of society means like 600 million people in China.
Yeah.
Right? Like
absolutely.
A huge chunk of the country.
A huge amount of people.
So this became even more inspirational, and people started to use this imagery and these memes and this stuff that was all wiped, by the way, to light a fire, for lack of better words, for all lower class people in China. Remember, 600 million of them, right? 800 yuan is just the price of a bottle of wine for the boss, but it's the bottom line for us bottom level workers. There's just so many of these. I could go on forever.
Yeah. And what's interesting is that the police have now, I think yesterday or today even, released an official statement to say that the 800 yuan thing is a false rumor.
Yes. Which is, wait till you see what they said was the truth.
Okay.
And you'll see,
So what did they say? Yeah, you've got it there, right? Please read it.
Yeah, I'll have to pull it up.
It's too small to...
It's very, very small.
To read up there, yeah.
I'll pull it up and I'll read it. It is
excellent.
Tiny text. So they released...
They're on damage control right now because this rumor over the 800 yuan thing spread so wide and it's inspiring so many people. So what did they say?
It says, on May 20th, an arson case occurred in Pingshan County. After the incident, the public security organs quickly launched an investigation.
Of course.
And have now preliminarily ascertained the relevant circumstances of the case. Wait till you hear this.
Okay.
The criminal suspect, Wen, 27 years old, male, has been pessimistic and autistic since childhood.
Okay.
Due to family circumstances and dropping out of high school. After dropping out of school, he went with his parents or worked alone. He returned to his hometown during Spring Festival this year. He was introduced to a textile factory in Pingshan County and worked as a general worker. The contract stipulated a 3-month probation period, and the previous month's salary would be paid on the 25th of each month. On April 25th, the textile factory paid Wen 4,158 yuan in March's wages. On April 30th, Wen submitted a resignation application to his supervisor, Huang. On May 15th, after completing resignation procedures and settling the remaining 5,370 yuan in wages, I'm going to continue here.
Sure.
This is where it gets juicy.
Okay.
Where it gets nonsense.
Okay.
Wen immediately asked for on-site payment of wages. Taking into account Wen's actual situation, the financial handling staff agreed to pay in advance and then followed the approval process as required. They can do nothing wrong.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
On May 15th, after Wen returned home, he contacted his supervisor again to request payment of wages, but failed. And then had the idea of revenge. Do you notice how they're protecting the factory owners? Do you know why?
Well, I think something maybe have been lost in translation a bit. So they said they arranged the money. Doesn't mean they paid him.
No,
they agreed to pay him the money, but they needed to go through a process or something.
Well, the reason the CCP is taking the side of the factory owners is because China is not a communist country. China is an authoritarian fascist state.
Yes.
And what you get is you get rich factory owners, true capitalists, that are aligned with and sometimes are the CCP officials. Yeah. So China has this like China bit, like all the leftists love China because, the extreme leftists love China because they like take care of their own and they have socialist principles. No. The workers are the bottom rung of society. The CCP officials are in cahoots and sometimes are the factory owners
Correct.
and the landlords
Yes.
and all these other people that you're supposed to hate as a radical leftist, right?
Yes.
And then, the ultra right-wing people love China because they have like a control on things. They have things like they rule things with a tight fist, right?
Yeah, they'll
Iron
rule
fist.
you with a tight fist,
Yeah,
too.
they sure will.
That's a problem.
On the morning of May 20th, Wen arrived at the textile factory by car and entered workshops 2 and 3 and began to set fire to them. He then stabbed financial staff member Lele with a knife.
I mean, this is presumably the person who kept refusing to give him the money.
Yes. The criminal suspect, Wen, was controlled on the spot when the case occurred. Okay. According to his confession, he resigned because of beep and was disgusted with the world. We'll just say something you can't talk about on YouTube.
Yeah.
Which literally doesn't make sense in this
Yeah,
circumstance.
the S word.
Yes.
you know?
It doesn't make sense.
No.
Right.
So after he was caught and
Yes.
beat up
Yes.
by the
And
police
tortured, as
in
they
the
do.
tiger chair,
Yeah.
he said like, "Oh, I was feeling like I wanted to beep,
Yeah.
and I was disgusted with the world." Right?
Yes. He was eager to get a salary to his mother and then beep after. He wanted to
So
beep
he wanted
after.
So he wanted to get his salary and
Yeah,
then like
beep. Yeah, no, don't. Yeah.
Don't do this.
No,
Can I do,
don't do
this?
anything.
This? I'm just doing the cross.
Oh,
you know?
okay, gotcha. Because his wishes were not met in time,
Yep.
he had the idea of breaking the jar and beep by taking revenge.
Okay.
Okay. Last part of this statement. See how rushed this is?
Yes.
They're panicking.
They're panicking. They have to get it out.
When he was arrested, Wen has been arrested by the procuratorate,
Yes.
according to the law, and the case is under further investigation. Lei is receiving treatment and is not in danger of death.
So he didn't kill the person who he stabbed.
No. The online rumor that the textile factory withheld and owed 800 yuan in wages is not true. That's in the police statement.
Yes, the police statement. Please do not believe the rumors.
This is the telling part.
And this is the
Yes.
public security organs will deal with the rumor makers seriously according to the law.
Is that not the most telling part? I'm sorry
Yes.
that took so long, but I wanted to build
Yeah.
up to that.
Yeah.
The real thing here,
Yeah.
the most, what do they say? Like in a speech, the most important thing you say at the end, right? Your final statement.
Yeah, the moral of the story.
The moral of the
basically.
story here is nothing to do with this guy.
Yes.
Has nothing to do with the rights of workers.
Yep.
It has to do with don't talk about stuff you're not allowed to talk
Yes.
about.
Don't talk about this 800 yuan wage thing. Otherwise, you're going to be seriously dealt with. And they will. They'll disappear you. They will arrest you. You know?
I genuinely think that this police statement was the worst thing they could have done in this.
Yeah.
Because no one in China reading this is going to believe this.
Well, first of all, why would he want to, get his wages to his mom and then,
and then do the thing.
Do the thing. That's like everything is wrong about this. He contacted them so many times to
Yes.
get his money. They refused to give him his money, so he went to go and do this arson. And if they were not withholding his money, he wouldn't have done it. Okay, so they've already debunked their whole argument that he wasn't owed.
In their statement.
Of course he was owed. That's why he went there.
Yes.
That's why he set it on fire. And of course, like you said, the most important message that they're trying to put out here is don't spread this information.
Don't talk about things you're not allowed to talk about.
Exactly. And you saw by some of those comments how
Yes.
people were really, getting in solidarity with this guy, and they were like, they know
Yes.
how he feels because secretly they probably all want to do the same.
Yes.
They, when you get screwed over in China, and I've seen it firsthand, a company that I worked for used to dock wages for everything. If somebody, didn't bow, they would take money off their wages. If somebody, didn't arrive like exactly on the minute, on the time, they would dock wages. So many reasons. Somebody didn't sit with their legs crossed in a certain way, they get docked wages. It was ridiculous type of things that it used to. And you've got people that work and they get promised their wages and they haven't been paid in months.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like a Ponzi scheme in a way. The boss will keep you there because you can't afford to leave and lose out on all those months of unpaid wages because you're waiting for that to come. And so you keep working for free with the idea that it's eventually going to come. And oftentimes it gets to a point where the company goes bankrupt or the boss steals the money and runs away and you left high and dry. It's really not cool.
Yeah. So that's a serious escalation in the unrest of China's society.
Now, this happened, 2 days ago?
Yeah.
Was it 2 days ago?
Yeah, I believe so, yeah.
And this is in Shenzhen.
This one. This is in Shenzhen. I have a little write-up here.
It's a toy factory.
Yeah, so this was in Pinghu Chuan Lifang Toy Factory.
Yes.
The workers demanded wages and they went on the roof of the building. We'll leave out a lot of details.
Yeah, so look, this is a typical situation. Again, we see this a lot. They're owed wages, months worth of wages, they haven't been paid, just like I was telling you guys about a minute ago. So they all went up onto the roof and, they were trying to get the boss to come out.
One of the guys jumped on the cushion.
Yeah, the fire department came and put cushions down there, in order to, because the guys are sitting on the edge of the buildings. One of the guys actually jumped into the cushion, and even after all this commotion, the boss still didn't come out to address their problems.
Yep.
And this is just how it goes. People are just being taken advantage of.
It's a thing that people are very, very, very upset about. And here's one of the reasons. The salaries, if you're lucky enough to get a job in these factories, the salaries have taken a shit.
That's another reason why the bosses take advantage of, because they know how difficult it is to find a job. Yeah. So they're like, you should be grateful that you have a job.
Yes.
And you will work for free.
Yes. So this is the highest paid factory district in China. Okay, this is Foshan.
Yeah, Foshan.
Okay, so
Wheel of Foshan.
Wheel of Foshan. If you're on our Patreon, you'll know. Foshan is one of the highest paid factory districts. Yes, many times.
That's where the Yip Man nonsense is from. Yeah,
it's in.
I got family
Guangdong.
there. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, family. In Foshan.
Cantonese place. But this is where a lot of the factories are. The big ones.
Yeah.
The big ones, right?
Yeah, it's not very pretty. Most of it.
No.
There's some. They filmed kung fu movies and stuff there. So they have. Yeah, it's true. This is Foshan for you. Come to beautiful Foshan.
Come to beautiful
you know what
Foshan.
I mean?
Come get a job.
Yeah.
So imagine this. This is China's bustling economy. This is the engine, the heart, the beating heart of China, right? So this guy is shocked. He pulls his car over and he looks at the notice board. Because you don't get any accurate information in China from the news, right?
Yeah.
Because they're going to say everything's hunky-dory. It's like North Korea.
Yeah.
But when you pull your car over and you look at what people are making
in
these factories.
This is a notice board where they're posting job listings.
They're making between 16 and 18 yuan per hour. They're making $2 per hour for grueling labor.
$2 an hour.
$2 an hour for grueling labor. By the way, that's the highest salary right now for most factory jobs.
Workers, yeah.
So this is the reality is, number one, most people can't get a job because unemployment's too high. There's too much demand.
Yes.
When factories do need personnel, they have to drop the salaries to $2 an hour. If you're in the interior, you're lucky if you're making $1 an hour.
Exactly.
This is in the best. This is the best factory salary, right? This is the damage that this very brief trade war did to China. It wrecked China.
Yeah.
It wrecked it.
Yep.
And it's not, they're still dealing with the consequences, right?
Correct.
Much damage was done, and people are very upset. And this is, you get these real on-the-ground reportings of people just pulling their car over, being like, "Holy shit, that's a bad wage."
Yeah, of course.
And that's what's causing this stuff, and you can see, the conditions of factory workers these days.
These are the kind of living accommodations you can expect if you get a.
Oftentimes, you still have to pay for this, by the way.
Yeah, it's docked out of your wages or whatever, Lovely living conditions, I got to say.
It's really nice, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Just in case you thought China-based, China's got it all figured out. China's richer than America.
Yeah, it's very easy to paint a very beautiful picture of China by showing like night footage in flashy lights and
when
stuff.
you have a communist authoritarian government, you can paint whatever picture you want. It's called the Potemkin Village.
Yeah, you can paint the mountain green.
And they do.
Yes.
They paint their mountains green so that they look nice.
Again, this kind of communal toilet, it reminds me of like when you have a zoo or something and you have an enclosure for the animals, and it's like this is the place where they sleep. This is where they go take a shit.
Yeah.
That's what you're looking at here.
Yeah.
Can you imagine what it's like? It's like nighttime. First of all, you're hanging your clothes there. Can you see you got your clothes hanging in the toilet, getting all that lovely scent? Like
you're drying your clothes in the
shit infusion in your clothes, right?
Fecal clothes.
Yeah, fecal clothes. Yeah, everyone at a certain time is going to go use the bathroom, and you have to use the bathroom there, like with all your other factory workers. Yeah. It's horrible. There's no privacy. There's no human dignity.
No.
Which is disgusting. Kind of like this.
This is a factory dorm.
Yeah.
And this is the conditions.
Yeah.
I mean, there has got to be serious disease going on here. Bed bugs and ticks and fleas.
Well, that's why, you know, they have these situations where they find companies abroad, Chinese companies, when they bring workers in, they keep them in slave-like conditions. Remember there was that big thing, what was it, in Mexico? Or
something like that. Oh, no, it was in Brazil.
Brazil, sorry. Where they found slave-like conditions and they actually called them out and had to like send them back. And they also brought the workers in on like illegal visas and stuff too.
At that EV factory?
Yeah, I think it was an EV. Yeah, it was an EV factory. Wasn't it Burn Your Driveway?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. So we like to remind you guys that recycling is a very big thing in China. And sometimes if you've got a piece of metal on your truck,
like your bumper or whatever.
Yeah, that's...
and I will steal it.
Yeah, if it's available, if it looks like it'll come off easy.
Times are tough.
Yeah.
No, let's just play through.
Okay, we're going to play through this.
So this is a roof.
I'm going to take the volume down. It's quite a big crash.
Ancient building, okay? Hundreds of 700 something years old, right?
Yeah, it's a bell tower.
Bell tower, yeah, in Anhui, right? And what happened was it collapsed, right? Well, the roof collapsed, right?
Yes.
The funny thing, and this is the important part, and I don't think most people are talking about this part, and there's a reason you probably saw this on the news. If you didn't, then great. You get to enjoy this crispy footage.
Yes.
But what happened is, and the interesting part is people are like, oh, this ancient tower fell down. No, it actually didn't.
No.
The new part did.
The ancient part's still going strong.
Yes.
This was, renovated a year ago.
It was fully rebuilt in 1995.
Yes.
And then...
The top part.
Yes.
The base is the only original part.
Yes. And then it was renovated in 2024 to 2023 to 2024.
Yes.
Through a whole year.
Yeah.
So the part that collapsed in this footage that you might have seen
is the part that was renovated a year ago that was built in 1995.
So the only good stuff in China is the old stuff.
Yes, all the new tofu dreg stuff is rubbish. You got a little bit of an excerpt from an article here.
I thought this was really funny. The collapse happened just a year after the tower was renovated following minor damage to the roof. This is from CNN, right? I thought this was kind of good tongue-in-cheek, dry humor. However, the building consists of two parts, the original Ming-era tower base and the tower on top of it. Damages mainly happened to the latter, which was once rebuilt in 1995, local officials say. Fangyang County is famous for its history and its culture in the hometown of Zhu Yuanzhang, the Hongwu Emperor, founder of the Ming Dynasty. He oversaw a prosperous era fueled by strong international trade and growing population. During this time, China replaced its traditional currency of silver and gold with paper money. Good historical background here, right?
Yeah.
But the funny part is, on Monday, the quiet around the site was shattered as hundreds of roof tiles began slipping from the roof and crashing to the ground, raising a huge cloud of gray-brown dust. The tile falling lasted for a minute or two. Another witness described how he heard the crisp sound of one tile falling one after another from a shop at the entrance to the drum tower. There was no... This is the
Beijing news. Yes.
There was no one in the square, and no one was injured. If it happened a little later, there would be many children playing near the tower after dinner.
Hang on a second. I'm pretty sure I saw lots of people in that footage.
Let's have a little look.
So there was Beijing
no one
State
there.
News, he told them, there was no one in the square and no one was injured.
Okay. Sanitized news.
I see kids on bikes. I see people running around. There are people right under. There's a little kid. Is that no one? See how China's BS news,
even
the official news, right there is a little child.
Look at the
crowd.
Yeah.
That's a lot of people there.
Right, and watch
the crowd. There was no one. Okay, in the square.
There was no one in the whole square.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Except for that huge crowd of about like 50 people.
If not more.
You know, look.
There is no one there.
There's no one except all the people running for their lives.
Oh, how dare you, China? You dumbass piece of shit.
Yeah, exactly.
The state media expects you to believe this kind of stuff.
That's why they say very few people died of COVID.
Yeah, it's true.
You know, make up these lies. And they can. If you don't, if you've got no footage, you wouldn't know because they will just lie to you. Okay, this is some drone footage of the tower before it collapsed.
Yeah.
You can see it's in the middle of the kind of urban sprawl here. And more importantly, you can see when it was renovated a year ago. And you see the part that was renovated, it's the part that fell down.
Yes.
Okay? So, again, China does this horrible thing where they will take an ancient building and then basically knock it down and put a fake rubbish one in its place.
Ruin it.
Yeah, they do. You can see, look, all the tiles off the roof there, and that's the part that fell apart, is what they fixed. So the construction standards of today's China, modern China, that you see the lights and the flashy stuff, is so rubbish that it cannot stand up to the hundreds of years of the ancient Chinese architects and builders and craftsmen. They were great.
Yes.
Modern China sucks when it comes to construction. Nothing lasts there. It's never built to last. You know what I mean? Look at that. All gone.
Look at all those not people. I can't believe there's no one there.
Yeah, there's no one in the square. No kids.
It's like a popular place to go, but there's no one there.
Yeah, there are no kids in the square.
Crazy how that works.
Yeah, weird. Anyway, I think we've said enough about this modern drum tower.
Yeah, the modern
where
drum
the ancient part still stands, but the modern part's completely wrecked now.
Yeah.
Get wrecked, China.
We don't want
you know, of course not. I mean, Chinese government. Get wrecked, CCP.
Get wrecked, CCP. Look what you do.
Yeah.
Look
You're
at
ruining.
This is what you've done.
Yes. And then you send the police to make sure nobody can go there to like film it and stuff.
So you think you'd set up like a blockade. They did a show of force.
Yes.
To make sure nobody was filming or trying to see what was happening.
Because in any normal circumstance, if you had a situation like this, you'd put up like caution tape or something, you know, you put up traffic cones and, you know, that type of thing. Maybe have someone in a high-vis vest or something like that, you know. But no, they send out all the police to just, nothing to see here, guys.
Nothing happened.
Yep.
There was no one in the square.
No one was here.
Just like no one died in Tiananmen Square.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Yep.
Despite the footage.
Exactly. No one. No. Anyway, that's how China does things. A little bit of tofu drag update for you. Underneath the bridge, kind of scary when you see the support brackets there all cracked and out of alignment and stuff. But this is what you can expect if you're wandering around China and looking at bridges.
Or China's building your infrastructure.
Oh, yeah, in your own country. Go take a look underneath the bridges and have a close look at the bridges that are being built in your Belt and Road Initiative.
Yeah, if you're in one of these countries where China's building your bridges.
Yes.
Have a little look.
Take a look. By the way, Shaban Ho, guys. It's our Monday show. This is what you missed out.
Our stereotypes?
No, this is from the Chinese internet. This is what Chinese people think. She doesn't even care.
What you will hear about Guangdong is that they eat everything.
Yeah.
Right. Which honestly is
true.
Very, very true. Toasted marshmallow or stink bug. That's disgusting.
Yeah.
Basically, everyone had AIDS. And everyone's addicted to heroin. Because you sell your soul, really.
To a gnome?
No, the gnomes are part of it. The women can be pale and have rosy cheeks. Untamed vixens by nature. Fujian people are stingy-ass mofos.
I'm glad we got to end it on a happy note.
That's disgusting! It's like rotten flesh. Pause it there. Shaban Ho is our patron show. If you want to support us on patreon.com/ADV podcast, you'll get access to our Monday show, over 100 episodes.
Yep.
Last episode, we ate a bunch of disgusting jelly beans. It was like a roulette.
Yep.
And they all look the same. So it's called like Bean Boozled or something. One will, like, for example, one will be like pomegranate, but the exact same looking one will also be like a rotten wound or something.
Yeah, or vomit flavor.
Yeah. It was disgusting.
It was really bad, yes. But the whole province stereotype thing was very interesting because we went through, you know, what Chinese people think their neighbors are.
Yeah, each province. So, you know, like states, like New Yorkers are like this. People from Montana are like this. We did that with China.
Yeah.
But we did it from Chinese people's perspective.
It was
got
a very
mean.
very interesting episode.
We didn't hold back because it's not our perspective.
No, it's what Chinese people think.
Yeah.
We read from, you know, online blogs and things.
It's
and
very
got
funny.
super fun.
So if you want to learn about China, you'll love that one.
Yeah. So if you want to join us for Shaban Ho, of course, only if you have the means, please head on over to patreon.com/ADV podcasts. It's our favorite time of the week.
It is.
It's a VIP show. We have a lot of fun. It's very interactive. So hopefully we'll see you there.
Please do.
Okay.
And you'll get access to every other episode.
Yep.
Huge flood. Just let it roll. Huge flood in Wuhan.
Wuhan's really like, is there some punishment going on here? Is there some divine punishment? It's like you unleashed COVID on the world. Now you get to like get some punishment.
I mean, it's not fair to the people.
No,
Wuhan.
of course not.
They were the scapegoat in the beginning before China started to blame in America.
That's what I'm saying. Like I'm saying the city.
Yeah.
You city.
You city, you.
Yeah, exactly. This is in a hospital.
Yeah, tofu drug, right?
One thing that China's awful at is drainage.
Yes.
This has been proven time and time again. That's why every single year you see these horrendous floods. Every year.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we went through them every year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I lived in dry cities.
Yeah.
That would flood like crazy.
Yeah.
Just like this, actually.
And it's very well known that only a few cities in China have good drainage. One of them is, I think, is Hangzhou, which is because of the ancient architecture. When the city was built hundreds of years ago, it was done well. And the other one is Qingdao because the Germans built it. And they did good drainage. But everywhere else in China has terrible drainage. Every other city sucks. Like their drainage just, you know, like half of this would be completely avoidable if they had good drainage.
It's true.
You know,
You are
and
true.
also if the Chinese government would stop the stupid idea of damming up all the rivers all the time and making reservoirs and screwing with Mother Nature so much.
I mean, here's the deal.
Yeah.
The CCP is spending all these billions of dollars on propaganda to like show shiny cities and stuff. Fix your frickin' cities then.
Yes.
Get drainage then.
Yeah.
If you want everyone to think you're living in the future, then make it the future.
Yep.
Stop wasting money on trying to change my mind or American people's minds. And
your
stop wasting
cities.
money on trying to make American people hate their own country and make it fall apart.
Exactly.
Fix your own shit.
Yep. And here's the Red Cross donation box. In
We
China,
should laugh about that. It's in Yunnan.
but we can though. It's in Yunnan, yeah. Listen, China is one of the least charitable countries.
the least.
Oh, it is the least charitable country in the world, and that's just because of the way society is run underneath the Chinese Communist Party. And of course, you live under communism, you're not going to be very charitable, are you? Right? So this is what the Red Cross donation box looks like. It's full of wrappers and trash. Yeah, not a single cent. Just saying. That'd be nice if that would change in China, you know? A little bit of another tofu drag thing.
Look at that, though. Doesn't that remind you of something?
Oh, yes, that it does. But basically, this guy's driving around. He sees, oh, look, it's pretty bad that the rebar is popping out of this bridge, and filmed it. But that reminded, we did this crazy, crazy episode on Xiaobanhao.
We did.
And it was about these bizarre foods.
Yes.
And this
is one they covered. They made like a documentary.
A Chinese guy went to, where did he go again?
No, he's not a Chinese guy. He's a Vietnamese guy.
Oh, he's a Vietnamese.
Yeah.
Sorry, I thought it was a Chinese guy.
No,
went
but
to Vietnam.
the Chinese made a documentary.
Oh, they
about
did,
it.
yeah, and they put it out there about finding this thing called a wild lion's head. You catch this creature.
You gotta catch it first.
Yeah, but it turns out it's like a pig's foot with like doll eyes in it or whatever.
They cook it
chicken
and eat
feet.
it, though. I love that they cook it and
chicken
eat
feet,
it.
yeah. Like this stupid thing. Oh, that was a super.
That was
so
a great episode.
ridiculous.
But it just that pillar reminded me of this.
It did.
It really just reminded me.
Yeah, that
of
pillar
this.
kind of like looks like that,
just,
doesn't it?
It's got those vibes. you
Yeah,
know?
it does.
Or like stone. What's that? What's those Easter Island statues? or
Yes, it
whatever?
kind of looks like
shit.
those. Yeah. Oh, that's just so ridiculous.
Yeah,
Anyway.
yeah.
Okay, Beyond the Great Firewall time. We're going to show you something that's Beyond the Great Firewall. And this one presenter got into a lot of trouble. So, I'll make us out of here so you can see the subtitles.
Yeah, so she says the direction of pace of development of cross-strait relations cannot hinder the two countries.
Whoops. Nor could it stop the historical trend of the motherland will eventually reunify.
So she's talking about Taiwan.
Yes.
And she accidentally says
two
countries.
You cannot say that.
Because China says it already owns Taiwan.
Yes.
They're inseparable. So she caught herself and you can see the dread in her
Yeah,
eyes.
you can see she knew she messed up.
Yes.
You know, it was at this point.
It was at this moment.
Yeah,
She
yeah.
knew she effed up.
Yep.
It's bad.
Look, it's horrible. I mean, to think that you could get into so much trouble just by like making a little slip up like that.
Yeah.
Because look, let's be honest, they are two different countries.
Yeah.
They've got different passports. They got different currency. They got
government.
different everything. You know, they got a different system of government.
Judicial
Yeah.
system,
Mhm.
everything.
Yep. Different quality of life.
Multi-party democracy.
Yep. So she said two countries. Of course, this entire news broadcast has been scrubbed.
Oh.
Cannot find it anywhere on the Chinese internet or Chinese TV or anything. It is gone.
She didn't do it on purpose.
No, it was, of course, she made a little slip up.
Yeah.
You know, it's only natural.
Yeah.
And
Because it's her true beliefs, maybe.
we are wondering if we'll ever see this presented
Yeah, actually,
again.
Taiwan did a good piece on this. Let's just watch it.
Okay.
Turn it up a little bit.
Go.
Let's see.
Netizens joked that she accidentally spilled the truth on TV, saying that she's fully aware that the two are countries across the strait, but that she was forced to say that Taiwan is part of China. Others joked that they will miss her.
We urge the mainland Chinese to face the objective fact that is the existence of the ROC.
Saying two countries is treating Taiwan, the ROC, as a country of its own. That's a major taboo for the CCP, and I'm afraid the anchor might face consequences for that.
Could the news anchor face a punishment? A former anchor for CCTV previously revealed there are 4 degrees of demerits. Mild ones would result in a fine, while severe ones could result in dismissal. With a topic as sensitive as cross-strait relations, to say two countries even as a slip of the tongue is a major taboo in China.
So, is she alright? Only in an authoritarian regime like China's do we have to worry about a news anchor's personal well-being and whether she'll be persecuted by the government. We are, of course, delighted, as Taiwan and China are indeed two separate countries, one on each side of the strait.
A DPP lawmaker voiced concern for the news anchor's safety for accidentally speaking an objective fact regarding cross-strait affairs.
Great stuff.
An objective fact. Oh yeah, dropped today, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Last week we told you we flew off to meet with Lane, and made this we had a really good chat. We sat down and we talked with we met David Zhang from China Insider. We met Shelley from China Censored. Right. We met Lane from Louder with Crowder. We all sat down together and we had a roundtable discussion. It was fantastic.
Just dropped today.
So we'll just show you a quick sizzle reel so you guys can go check it out
Links
afterwards.
down below.
Yeah, there's a link. It's on YouTube.
I was in the back of a car with a Chinese government official, and he was ripping through these back roads, and these people that were carrying like rice and all kinds of crops were jumping out of the way of the car as he almost ran them over. He said, it's actually not a concern if I run these people over because they can't do anything about it. Their lives are meaningless. There's some real evil under the surface.
The lack of understanding of what communism really is. The bigger the divide, the more chance that the communists can do their thing. They mold the exact image you want to see of China so that you can accept it.
Because a lot of the Chinese internet warriors, keyboard warriors as they call them, they couldn't speak English, right? So they would have screenshots.
You are true.
Yeah, exactly. Right, yes.
The CCP managed to utilize TikTok to get people to call their own Congress people. This is being utilized to directly contact Americans and have political influence.
There was some woman I followed on Instagram because she raised backyard chickens, and she got radicalized by Xiaohongshu. This backyard chicken farmer has turned into a propaganda vehicle for the CCP.
China does not threaten us and could not threaten us.
Why is he shilling against that point?
He's a demagogue, by the way. He's not a good guy, this Jeffrey Sachs guy.
When China decides it's going to do something or cares about a specific topic, they really, really go into it, and I don't think there's an endless budget for it, right? Yeah. It's the scary part.
Donald Trump, don't trust China. China's asshole.
Okay, well, I mean, that is actually today. It was a good discussion.
It was.
We covered a lot of different issues.
Definitely worth a watch.
Terrible lighting in that place, though.
I thought it was pretty good, actually.
Yeah, but very good discussion. Awesome, you know.
The lighting was good.
That's terrible.
It was good.
No, it wasn't. The shadows over everyone. It's like, you know.
It's good if you're ripped.
Oh, yeah, I suppose so. Yeah. Anyway, fantastic chat. So if you want to go check it out, there's a link in the description, and you know, you can leave a comment saying the China show sent me. If you go check it out,
absolutely.
We'd appreciate that. And if you don't want to watch it, don't watch it.
Yeah, do what you need to do.
Do what you need to do,
you
guys.
Should watch it. It's
yeah,
good.
but you absolutely should. It was a great discussion. We talked about a lot of very important topics.
Yes.
And it's like an hour, 40 minutes long.
Yeah, it's a good long one.
Way long, kind of like our show.
Yes.
Anyway, it's time for Worldview, guys. We talk about everything in the world, specifically with regards to China. And what's going on here?
Just a couple quick things. We're going super long, but there's a tiny island in the Philippines. It's a great article.
Okay.
That's absolutely surrounded by the People's Liberation Navy, but like they're basically like fishing vessel type ships.
Yeah.
But it's the most haunting thing you've ever seen. It's this tiny little Philippine island completely surrounded by China.
Okay.
And
it's an island called Hope?
Yeah, it's like it's actually called Hope.
Oh, interesting.
And it's what they're doing to like just ignore them because it's scary. Cool. It looks like the Empire ships in Star Wars.
Yeah.
And these poor like not even rebels, they're people in their own country that have to put up with that. Very good article. People want to us to talk about the Golden Dome thing because China did have a response. I do have it in here. It's very boring. The response is very, very hypocritical because China's already weaponized space, completely weaponized space.
We've covered that.
Yes.
In fact, China has satellites that have actually proven to be offensive. Like with the robot arms and stuff. They had like a dead satellite. So they had one of their other satellites go and grab that satellite and put it into like a, destructive orbit or whatever to get rid of it. And they have satellites with all these different like offensive weapons on it, like microwave beams and stuff. So, they're already doing bad things up there.
Yes.
So it's kind of hypocritical for them to say, anything about that. So I guess we don't need to go in depth into that, do we?
No, I had the whole response, but it is it's predictable. It's hypocritical. You can look it up if you want to.
Yeah.
But just wanted to cover that a little bit. This is really good. Tariffs or not, China's infiltration of U.S. systems needs new attention. I want to look into this. There's 2 good articles about this. Go to the next one.
Okay.
There's a great Hill piece about the things that China's currently done to the U.S., like the current threats.
Is it this one?
No, this is just a quick thing. So the G7 is fighting against China's trade practices.
Okay, good.
Good little bit of G7 glazing.
Yeah. What is this?
Oh, yeah. So this is, what is it, Mississippi?
The state of Mississippi.
Is suing the CCP.
Good.
For like, how many, $200 billion or something?
Oh, that's good.
For the damage from COVID. So if you look at this.
Can everybody do this, please?
Yeah, I wish. The state of Mississippi suing the People's Republic of China, the Communist Party of China, the National Health Commission of the People's Republic of China. It's all this stuff.
Ministry of Emergency Management of the People's Republic of China, Ministry of Civil Affairs of the People's Republic of China, People's Government.
Yeah, just make it big real quick.
Blah, blah, blah.
Just make it big real quick. I want to, because there's too many,
this.
Because there's too many stories that we don't have time to cover. I want to save for next time.
Okay.
This is the good one. Yeah, this one.
Okay, this one.
China has an off switch for America, and we aren't ready to deal with this. This goes through each thing, so just go through.
Did we not cover that last week?
We did, but this is great. Look at this. I'll tell you why. It gives you bullet points.
Okay.
And this is a good one people can share around with each other.
Okay, and the link is in the description below? Okay.
Friends and neighbors and all the people that are, asking about China, send them this.
Yes.
Imagine waking up tomorrow and your phone has no signal, your smart home isn't working, your Ring camera's offline, you get in your car, but your GPS won't route. Worse, every traffic light in town is out. Intersections are a mess of blaring horns and confusion. Sirens echo in the distance. You drive to an ATM, hoping to grab some cash, the screen flickers and then goes black. It's not just your neighborhood, it's not just your state, the entire nation has gone dark. This scenario is digital darkness caused by China's off switch for America. It is the penultimate step in China's strategy to defeat America before gunning for global control. So there's the bullet points of what China's already done. Yeah. So China's already in America.
That's
already doing this stuff, right? Mm-hmm. So we look at this. The first one is EMPs, right? I mean, you can read that.
Okay, sure. China develops tactical EMP weapons that can disable entire regions by targeting civilian infrastructure. America relies on to function. These compact pulse generators can hover above unprotected data centers, destroying electronics inside with pinpoint electromagnetic blasts. Several dozen well-coordinated EMP strikes could wipe out cloud infrastructure, disrupting America's power, transportation, communications, and financial systems nationwide.
What is the deep sea one?
Deep sea fiber cuts. Over 95% of global internet traffic travels through undersea fiber cables. China recently unveiled deep sea cable cutters capable of severing cables at extreme depths. Recent disruptions near Taiwan and the Baltic Sea suggest these tools are already in use. Cutting a few lines disrupts global communication instantly and fractures U.S. military coordination.
So these are things they're already working on. Next, there's one more slide.
Okay. Let's take a look.
These are things that they're either working on or already have done.
Yeah. Anti-satellite weapons. As America stockpiles low Earth orbital satellites, China expands its anti-satellite arsenal to include missiles, parasitic satellites, and lasers designed to disable or destroy orbital
That's what
assets.
I wanted to say. This is my response to the globe. You guys wanted us to bring up the Golden Dome thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then China's like, you're weaponizing space. No, you.
Yeah, exactly. In March 2025, the U.S. Space Force reported that Chinese satellites performed aggressive dog-fighting maneuvers in orbit. This capability allows China to carry out precise strikes designed to trigger the dreaded Kessler Cascade, a chain reaction of satellite collisions capable of destroying all low Earth orbit satellites within days, crippling internet communication and surveillance systems. And of course, cyber attacks, we all know that China's behind a lot of that too.
Yes, and currently doing that now.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very important. This is the article to share around to people if they want to say, well, is China actually like kind of a threat? No, they're not just a threat. They're already at active war with us, basically.
Yeah.
It's just a different, it's not the war your grandpa fought in.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'll just read this anyway.
Yeah.
China's cyber weapons are the most deeply embedded assassin's mace.
That's what they're calling it.
Just this week, U.S. investigators uncovered rogue communication devices hidden in Chinese-made solar inverters and batteries. Such undocumented components can bypass firewalls, allowing China to remotely monitor, destabilize, and disable critical infrastructure. Chinese-made chips, routers, and switches embedded throughout U.S. networks contain dormant firmware that, upon activation, could place critical U.S. infrastructure under Chinese Communist Party command. The Chinese Army's blended domains philosophy strips traditional boundaries between war and peace. An omnipresent battlefield erases any line between military and civilian enterprise. The doctrine is described in Unrestricted Warfare, the 1999 book in which Chinese military leaders promote the use of psychological, technological, and informal attacks to undermine informational attacks to undermine and subsequently overwhelm America. I'm pretty sure they'll use informal attacks too.
Yeah, true. If you like to read that book. I covered it in one of my videos.
Okay.
The insidious nature of what the CCP is doing and is planning and it is currently doing, not just in the future.
Sure.
And has been doing for quite some time now, will make you wake the hell up so quickly it's not even funny. I think people tiptoe around this idea that China's got something planned. They already are doing it.
Yeah.
Right? They're doing things that affect American civilians. They're doing everything in their power. They're using TikTok. We talked about in that
It's just
interview
so
on
annoying.
Crowder.
It's so annoying that people are now again thinking it's a great idea to invest in China, and it's just, they are taking any money that you put into China and using it to fight you.
Yes.
Using it against you.
Yes.
It's a silly thing.
They're not going after our military. They're going after you. The Chinese government's targeted you for decades now, and they've ramped
Stealing
it up.
your genetic
Insane.
information.
Yes.
The pregnancy test scandal where they stole all the genetics from...
Bro, they're in our water infrastructure to turn off our water.
Yep.
This isn't tinfoil hat. This isn't like some weird back...
That's the thing. Like, when someone goes on about contrails or whatever, you can be like, whatever. Like, dude, this is all proven.
This
is all real.
They did it. Yeah.
This is they found the evidence. There's none of this stuff is like up in the air.
It's not a
real.
theory.
Yeah, it's like you said, it's not tinfoil hat. Anyway, you get the point.
Share that article around.
That article is a great article. It's, as you can see, it's very in depth, but there's a link.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Before we start our Q&A, we have a message.
Hi, Nick. It's me. How's it going?
Oh, hi, Dad. Everything's great.
Good. So what are you doing right now?
Dad, right now I'm watching a baseball game.
Really?
Being a dad is tough. Don't be like Nick. Get your father something awesome for Father's Day. And right now, Extra is a great option. They have a Father's Day sale, which is running all the way till June 26th. Just when you thought something good couldn't get any better, Extra goes and releases their Wallet Pro. Made with beautiful vachetta leather, it can carry more cards than ever before. And now with a slimmer profile, it closes better for that ultimate sleek pocket feel. The smooth pop-out mechanism now boasts a new ergonomic trigger, and the whole thing is made of 100% recycled aluminium. There are no compromises and no plastic parts used at all in its construction.
This wallet comes with a lifetime warranty. Add the new cash clip and pair it with an extra tracker card that works on the Apple Find My network for that extra peace of mind. Grab your slimmer than ever Wallet Pro, the most versatile leather smart wallet.
Don't forget to take advantage of Extra's Father's Day sale. They're offering up to 40% off, and using our code CHINA at checkout will unlock an extra 10% on top of that. Go to partner.extra.com/China show and use the discount code CHINA. or scan the QR code on your screen. And now, back to the show. All right, guys, it's Yamcha. This is our Q&A where we answer your questions and you question our answers. So what do we got?
I'm an American man. Thank you very much.
Oh, by the way, I forgot to say, if you're not watching now, live or on the weekend, we bid you adieu. We'll see you next time because we cut it out on Monday.